Well, my role in Force India this year is firstly to become the test and reserve driver and being part of the whole team in the environment that Force India have set. We're undertaking driving on Friday FP1 practice sessions, which we've managed to achieve in 5 Fridays so far. We're going to continue that through the year, but it's just been part of the whole team environment moving forward and hopefully building a relationship that we can go on for the future. The opportunity came up with Force India, me being part of Mercedes and the McLaren group for a number of years. Then that went on to a young driver test. It was an assessment done in the simulator, of which I came out pretty well on, and that was when Force India decided that I would become the test and reserve driver to go on and undertake the opportunity that they were going to give me, and that was to develop me on to try and become one of their race drivers for the future. I got started in motor racing when I was growing up, and my father was involved in racing and go-karts from when I was a very young age. He's been involved now for 35 years, and it was just a natural progression for me to go on and do. It was when could I start racing, and it's quick from there. It then progressed from go-karts onto Formula Renault, Formula 3 and so on to lead me up to my career so far now. Yeah, my family is very supportive of what I do. We've got quite a lot of history in the family in the motor racing world. My cousin's done tremendously well in America, Dario Franchitti. But the biggest inspiration for me is my father and what he achieved, on what he could manage to achieve in his very short career, and also for giving me the opportunity to go forward and being part of that and believing in me as a person to make it to where I have today. Winning the McLaren Autosport Young Driver of the Year award was one of the biggest achievements of my life to date. It was a very important time. We had quite a difficult start to the year in Formula Renault that year, but a very strong end to the year. And to win the award was something special. And also, it was a crucial point that I needed to win also the money to then progress on for the next year, to get a budget together to go Formula 3. So, it was a very special event. I had, obviously my cousin had won it in the past, so there was under a bit of pressure to try and achieve that. And also the biggest thing was I was the youngest person ever to win it. I got a bit of dispensation when I was 17 years old to go in for the award, when normally you had to be 18 years old. Coming through Formula 3, it was quite a difficult few years we had. The competition was extremely high. You had a lot of big names in the series at this point. Lewis was in the championship, Sebastian Vettel, Adrian Sutil was also there. There was a number of names that have reached Formula 1. I'm not going to mention them all, but it was a difficult ground, and we all had a good steady background from our racing. We had raced each other from the past, but equally we had good backers behind us and big manufacturers and a lot of pressure under our arms to achieve. And thankfully, we managed to get through it. It's been a good building step to getting where we are now, and I think a lot of people have good respect for what we managed to achieve back then. My DTM career has been certainly something I've very much enjoyed. It's been difficult, but it's made me work very hard at what I want to achieve. I believe it's been very close in respect to the rate of development and how you have to work with a team environment to try and achieve the maximum from a car. And you're also developing the car as the year goes on at quite a rate of progression, but also building a new car each year. And it's just been part of an official factory team which needs the results to continue, and it's been a very special time in my career to do this. And it's also prepared me very well for Formula One. You know, I believe I'm probably coming in at the right time. I've matured over the years, and each year I go on with my racing career, I believe I'm a bit wiser, and hopefully, you know, put that to good use when my chance comes up. To combine them is quite difficult because obviously it's a lot of racing weekends. It's a lot of stress, but it's good positive stress, I believe. It's always in a racing environment. The biggest thing that's set down from it is the travel time, which obviously everybody doesn't, you know, enjoy that part of it. But equally, you know, I believe it's a good point to go on. It keeps me in a competitive environment, racing DTM. Equally, you know, being with the Formula One, driving on the Fridays and taking part in the test sessions to have a better idea that hopefully building for the future, that, you know, I'm going to learn some new tracks, and all this information I'm gathering over the year is going to be put to good use one day. Coming to Silverstone, this is going to be a very special event. You know, I've attended the British Grand Prix for a few years now, being part of the BRDC and doing a bit for Mercedes. But to actually come here, being part of the Formula One team, undertaking in one of the Friday practice sessions, and being involved in the whole Grand Prix weekend with all the drivers is going to be something very special to me. My aims for the future are to become a Formula One driver and then to build on to be a Formula One world champion. Force India this year have given me a very special opportunity to undertake and being part of this environment, and hopefully to build a good steady future together, and hopefully become, you know, very successful. And that's what we're trying to work to build, and I'm loving being part of this team and environment.